All right, everybody, we're back live. This is Andrewdfs, correspondent with FF Metrics. Gonna break down the Thursday night showdown coming up, where we got the Giants going into San Francisco for the 49ers home opener. Over-under is landing somewhere at 44.5, and the Niners are favored by 10. Giants coming off a miracle win against the Cardinals when they were down like 20-3 at one point, I believe. And Niners surprisingly played a close game against the Rams, so I think that caught everybody off guard. But before we dive into that, if you like our content, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. I'm a correspondent with FF Metrics, which is run by RC Fisher, one of the best scouting minds in the game. He provides breakdowns of all the NFL action by week, which fantasy players you should target, handicapping advice, ffmetrics.com. If you're not subscribed already, highly recommend you check it out. Also follow us on Twitter, like our stuff, promote our content. We're trying to grow. Really appreciate all you guys. And also RC runs the FF Metrics Twitch feed, Twitch handle. So he, I think like Tuesdays and Thursdays has like waiver office hours or whatever, where you can ask him questions, and Sunday mornings, which is really fun, all the people in the FFM community come together, discuss lineups. RC goes through all the practice reports. Really good time. So again, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Follow us, and hopefully we make a lot of money together this season. All right, so before we dive into the showdown game, I want to go through the perfect lineup from last time. And the site that I like to use personally is called LineStar. So LineStar is a good site to aggregate all of the like perfect lineups from the showdown contests or whatever. I think recently they implemented something where if you go back far enough, you actually have to pay. Like there's just a paid version of it, and there's also a free version of it as well. But all 2023 data should be free. So from last Thursday night, in the perfect lineup, you needed to have DeAndre Swift in there, and DeAndre Swift and Devontae Smith. DeAndre being the captain. No Jalen Hurts in there, which is funny because for the second week in a row, Jalen Hurts is not in the optimal lineup. And as we discussed last week, that never happened last season. So I think the Eagles' offensive line, there's something going on there. Jalen Hurts came back to life at the end, where seemingly he had better like passing results or whatever in the second half. But first half was kind of rocky. Hopefully just a little blip on the radar, and the Eagles pick up where they left off last season. Cousins has been on a tear. As you can see, he's in the optimal lineup too. Along with his main pass catcher, Justin Jefferson, rookie Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson. So this lineup, if you had all of this in, would have won you whatever DFS slate that you entered. Okay, now a little bit, we're going to divert off the showdown for a second. Let's take a quick recap on the results of the main contest. And what happened there was in the perfect lineup, now you would have Daniel Jones as your QB. Kyron Williams, who I think like right after the main slate games kicked off, that's when Cam Akers was inactive. So it was kind of hard for people to catch that. Puka Nacua for 2 weeks in a row. He's in the optimal lineup, just crushing it at his salary. People are catching on. I question whether or not he keeps that up when Kupp enters the lineup again, but remains to be seen. Then Brian Robinson, out of nowhere, just pummels Denver. Nico Collins with CJ Stroud, another one. Crazy game. Mike Evans with Tampa, I think he had like 165 yards or something. And Keenan Allen. No Austin Eckler there, so that one was one I was actually keyed in on from the start, but unfortunately had no other guys in this perfect lineup. But so you can see here that the salary of the perfect lineup is 48,700, right? When people submit their DraftKings lineups, they tend to fill up their salary. So this wasn't actually a lineup played in the Millie Maker, and the winner of the Millie Maker, his handle is Sports King 101. Congrats to him. This lineup won $1 million last weekend. Slightly less optimal than the perfect lineup, obviously, by definition, but you can see here this one threw up 224 versus the 250-ish from the perfect. And the strategy that this user implemented was having Jones and Barkley with Waller, so a 2 QB stack. Then pairing Rachaad White with Tampa defense. It's a common thing to do. Grab the running back and pair it up with the defense. Then you see you have Keenan Allen, Christian Kirk, and Nico in there as well. And Zach Moss in the flex, which is a really good call because none of the Indy running backs really did anything the week before. Now he's healthy. People thought Houston's defense might have been something because they were sort of like, I don't want to say they kept Baltimore in check, but they looked decent against them. So I think that kind of like influenced people a little bit, not to be a little scared of Indy, but. Yeah, I mean, Zach Moss, as you can see, like for his salary and the points he put up, amazing. So this user actually put in 7 lineups in the Millie Maker competition, $20 per lineup, and one of them hit, and he made $1 million, which is really awesome. And I hope somebody listening to this gets it and does something crazy like that. But the reason why I wanted to throw up, he only put in 7 lineups. You don't have to put in 150, right, to get to the top. I mean, obviously that increases your chances, just like how if you buy 1 million lotto tickets, like that's going to increase your odds too. You're putting more in. But the point is, have fun, gamble what you're going to gamble. If it's a $20 lotto ticket in DFS a week, that's it. If it's a $1 competition, that's it. Just do your limits. So shout out to this guy and hope he does something fun with all the cash that he earned. So, okay, now I think we can go back to the San Francisco and Giants game. So let's flip to DraftKings really quick. And here's the way that I like to approach these competitions. How do you think the game's going to end up? Last week we were talking about Philly dominating Minnesota, which clearly didn't happen. Minnesota put up points, and I think what's going on there with the Minnesota passing game is the lack of their running game is causing Kirk to throw a lot more, and Kirk's not a terrible QB. He's above average, so he's he has Justin Jefferson as his top target, and he's a great receiver. This is kind of reminding me of like the post Super Bowl years with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, where Matt was just having crazy stats with Julio. This Vikings team is 0-2 and probably not going to be competitive in the playoffs, but you can definitely utilize them in fantasy. So now the question becomes, what do you guys think is going to happen in this Giants game? How are you going to play it? So let's flip back to the intro slide where we have the over-unders and stuff. So you can see that like the cash is actually coming in to the Giants, and 91% of the tickets is on 49ers. Granted, it's too early. And I think what happened last week, which made me a little more pro-Viking, is I saw more and more cash getting dumped on Minnesota, and that made me rethink my position. Maybe these guys aren't going to get their crap tossed on Thursday night. So I want to see where this lands eventually. I used it. This is I pulled this off of pregame. I used this to sort of track where the cash and tickets are landing with the spread and whatnot. So the way to also read this is like under has 66% of the cash and 41% of the tickets, which shows you that the way that I did 41 is I look at that over 59% or whatever. So if over's 59, under's 41, 1 minus 59. That shows you the money's coming in on the under and the Giants plus the points. So I interpret that as this is going to be a grimy game, just going to get grinded out. 49ers should blow these guys out. But let's keep in mind a couple things here. It's a short week. Thursday nights tend to have less points. I know we just came off an explosion 34-28. That's not a common Thursday night score. I think it was just a matter of circumstance and the fact that, these guys, it's not a traditional Thursday night game in that it's in week 2. So, more rest. It's only the second game of the season. But now, going into week 3, people are going to start feeling the effects of the season on them. So Ayuk is a question mark. Makes me think maybe running back. And for those of you that already got a peek of where I was going with my captain, Christian McCaffrey, I think it's going to be a heavy ball control San Francisco defense type of day. And on the flip side with the Giants, I don't know that I want to go more than 2 people with them. So I think I want to either do a 5-1 or a 4-2 lineup. So in DraftKings in Showdown mode, you have to select 6 players, at least 1 from each team. Okay. So let's flip back to DraftKings. I have Christian McCaffrey in here. Notice his salary. And his salary is actually a good thing here. Good because everyone's going to have them in his flex. Everyone's going to utilize McCaffrey in the flex. A lot of people are going to try to avoid using him in the captain because he's so damn expensive. So take that for what you will. Now, Ayuk's injured, right? So want to avoid him, and that makes Debo a more valuable play. Kittle hasn't really done anything yet. Maybe this is going to be a Kittle day. He hasn't really done anything crazy this entire season. So let's look. So we have CMC there. I definitely want to play the San Francisco defense going up against the Giants, who we have one data point of Arizona dominant. So we saw them get blanked by Dallas. The game right before that, they got blanked right before Dallas in the playoffs against the Eagles, got blanked by the Eagles. They were getting blanked by the Cardinals, and all of a sudden, I don't know what the heck happened. They came back, they won that game. Awesome, great. But Arizona is competing for a top 5 pick. So, I don't know how much you want to really read into that victory. They should have won that game with ease. So, I want to go with the 49ers D here. Now, I think I also, in this situation, I'm going to want to play I'm going to think about playing Kittle. I like Kittle in this spot. I think with Ayuk out, that's going to increase his target share. He hasn't really done anything yet, so he's like an explosion waiting to happen. So that's another one. Let's try to focus on the Giants side now. So Saquon's out. Their best player's out. Who do we want to play on their side that's good? Waller's an option. Breida, who's the backup to... let's go look at their depth chart. So Breida's down here at 7K. I kind of like this view a little better when looking at everything. So Breida at 7K here. You can do him, definitely. Slayton was just getting a ton of targets in that Arizona game. It was kind of crazy. And Paris Campbell, thought he'd be used more, but he's not getting that run that I thought. Hyatt's like a home run hitter. This guy's like the definition of a DFS play. Easily could hit and change the trajectory of the game. If you want to do a throwaway piece on the Giants, meaning that like you like really don't care about who you're going to start and just want to, just hope you get a catch out of this player and go all Giants, the guy that I would recommend is Lawrence Cager. That guy's just like an athletic freak tight end, and he easily can like take one catch for like 50 yards or something like that if he's active. So there's that too. He might not be playing, so just be careful about that and monitor it. Could also go kicker here. That's a common thing to do with teams getting dominated. You play the kicker or their main pass catcher. For now, I think I'm going to, given that the 49ers have secondary issues, I think I want to go with Paris for now, and I'm going to really think about how I'm going to really think about that a little bit more as I'm preparing for the game. So Paris, if we open him up, not getting a lot of run. Notice I'm not trying to go for the most popular player here. I'm trying to go for like a what do you call it? I'm trying to go for like a less chalky play. So yeah, I mean, he got his target share is increasing 4, 6. This could be his week. So I like that. And with Saquon out, I think they're going to want to pass more, and that is exactly what you should do against the 49ers. I think the more that I think about it, Waller might not be the best play here because the 49ers are really good at covering tight ends. I don't think Higbee did anything last week. It was all like Puka and Tutu Atwell. So if you're going to do anything, guys, go for the Giants receivers. Okay. So again, Slayton had a bunch of targets as well, I think, in that game. Let's pull him up and just look at him. 6. I guess that's not terrible. Why? I don't know why I thought he had more than that. So he has the same as Paris. Then Jalen Hyatt. This guy gets like 3 targets, but then ends up... Oh, there it is. 2 for 89. I guess it wasn't even 3, and he only had 1 against Dallas. Home run hitter, though. So then I guess if I had to choose another New York guy, I would consider not Breida. I think I would go with Hyatt. I'm gonna rethink that though. Not comfortable with it, as you can tell. I'm trying not to commit to it. So that leaves me with 8,200. I think I want to work Debo in there instead. So I'll probably pull Hyatt out and get someone else in there. Maybe the SF kicker. There we go. And that would probably be what I would enter in this lineup, going with a 5-1 stack or a 5-1 situation where we have 5 49ers, 1 Giant. I'm going to think through whether I want to do the 4-2. I think Paris is my guy in this situation. Just really don't know who else I would want to play alongside Paris. I think that one's going to be a tough call. Going to monitor the injury reports and figure it out. So hopefully that was helpful, guys, to help you prepare for your matchup. So going back to last week's perfect lineup, you could see that it was a 4-2 stack. Even though Eagles won, Swift was the captain, then Devontae, and then 4 Vikings. Even though the Vikings weren't the ones that won the game, they put up a lot of passing numbers. I don't think we're going to get fireworks in this one. I think it's going to be more ball control, just grind out the clock and move on to the next week. So if you like this and want more content, just feel free to subscribe to my channel. Catch us at ffmetrics.com for all the latest rankings, handicapping advice, RC's Twitch stream or whatever. Follow us on Twitter at ffmetrics. And with that, I thank you all for listening and wish you the best of luck in your Thursday night betting ventures. With that, we are